Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for the Dallas Anime Meetup podcast. I'm your host Corey, and joining me today is Justin,
Hey guys.
Jamar,
Hello.
and Nick.
Hello.
It's been a quick minute since we recorded, guys.
Halloween
What
was a
happened?
busy time. I will say I am sad we did not get to record during the time when Cyberpunk Edgerunners was at its peak. That would have been real fun to discuss.
I know.
If
But,
only
man,
there was some sort of discussion coming up
What?
for that specific show.
It's too early to segue. Take it back.
Oh, dang it, you're right, yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. There's been a lot of good news and things have come out the past few months, especially anime. There's been a lot of good anime. So let's jump right into it. So stuff I've been doing, I'm mainly the same old, same old. Been playing Final Fantasy. I also started watching the Kingdom anime recently. I finally was able to grit and bear the CG. And it's so weird because you'll get into an episode and it'll have kind of like a shift from CG to like just regular animation. And it's so weird.
Yeah, Kingdom did
It's
have those
kinda
issues
jarring.
back then.
And it's not even like a scene you think they need CG for. They could just be talking and it's like shifts to CG and you're like, why did they do this?
Who knows?
But yeah, I'm almost done with season 1, so I don't have to really bear it for much longer.
Yeah,
I've
hopefully
been
those
watching
sequel
Blue
seasons are
Lock,
worth it.
so that's been a lot of fun. I actually really like the animation in Blue Lock, and it's not like I think the pacing's kind of meh. Is probably the only thing I'll say about it. Is some episodes are just so much exposition,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're working with that many episodes this season. I think it's going to be a 12 or 13.
I thought it was longer than that. I thought it was.
Is it?
I haven't clarified that. I do know that when it was the promotional trailers, people were hyping up Blue Lock as the next big sports anime. And
Yeah, I know that. I wasn't sure how long it was going to be, but I feel like, I don't know, some episodes I just feel like they beat around the bush with some like exposition that's not really necessary.
Uh-huh.
But overall it's been really good. They finally like the most recent episode was pretty action packed, so that was fun.
Yeah, I actually
Um,
liked that. My problem with Blue Lock so far has been like that while the animation is generally decent, you could tell this is not made by like one of those big production companies like Mappa or Ufotable or Bones. Like this is 8-bit, and the animation during the soccer matches for like a good portion of it have just been stills and speed lines. And that's been kind of killing some of the camp of the soccer matches.
Yeah. Yeah, and most of the games haven't been like super full length either. They've been kind of like short snippets, like you said, and then it'll like kind of break to halftime or something, and you don't really get to see like a really intense match like you would in like Haikyuu, where it's like a really the focus is on the match a lot of the time rather than them strategizing on how to win the match, which it feels like that's more of the match in Blue Lock than the actual.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
Blue Lock is supposed to be kind of parody of sports anime. Like, it's not meant to be like as serious about the sport as Haikyuu.
Yeah, yeah. But it's been good. I'm enjoying following it. Obviously, I've been also watching Chainsaw Man, and that's been good. It's definitely like the adaptation I hoped from Mappa, so that's great.
Yeah.
And that's all on my end.
You want me to go next?
Sure, if you want to. If anybody wants to.
Yeah. Okay. So me next, and I've been watching a lot of the fall anime. Been watching all the big shonen. I've been watching Bleach. I've been watching Chainsaw Man. I've been watching Mob, My Hero. Like every big shonen I'm watching. I've been watching the new Urusei Yatsura, which I surprisingly like a lot. I thought the humor would be too dated. In today's world, and apparently it is for a lot of people because a lot of people don't seem to like that show, but I think it's really funny. And I've been watching the new Gundam as well, and I'm not going to give my opinions on these shows too much yet because they could always turn things around. Although I will say, I am a little disappointed that some of the big anime have been falling a bit in terms of production. Bleach especially, like there were quite a few there are quite a few scenes in the recent Bleach episode where they were just like doing speed lines and such. Again, like Blue Lock, and that was disappointing. But you know, it's Bleach. It still gets by with its style and directing. So, and as for other things that I want to get into, due to Gundam Mercury, honestly, I decided let's watch some of these Gundam shows on my Hulu watch list that I've been meaning to watch. So I watched Gundam, the 8th MS team from the 1990s, and Gundam Unicorn, which is that big budget Gundam that aired from 2010 to 2014. They came out with like an episode a year, and those episodes are like an hour long. Except for the final episode was like 90 minutes long. I will say,
yeah, I remember that.
8th MS team has not aged well. Like, it really hasn't aged well. It's basically a story about two soldiers from opposite sides of the war who fall in love, and that's supposed to be like the hook that makes it different from other war stories. But the problem is they don't meet each other very much. Like, they just meet each other once, and then they decide they're in love, and then they meet each other one more time, and then the third time they meet, they run away and get married.
It sounds like a problem a lot of older Gundam series have.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just super cheesy, or like they skip a lot of
the rest. Yeah, the rest of the episodes are just standard Gundam stuff about how war sucks and all that, and it's like that really did not do too well like in today's age with better like war stories. So the 8th MS team was kind of cool. And Gundam Unicorn, it's pretty decent. It's definitely aged better. The animation is stunning. Story is it's still a bit generic Gundam, but it's done decently enough that it's worth the time if you're interested. So yeah, that's good. Pretty much what I've been doing.
Cool. How about you, Jamar?
All right, sorry, I had to unmute my mic. For me, my computer died, so I had to basically build a new computer, which wasn't bad because I had a warranty on all the parts. So I'm rocking the new Ryzen 7000.
Thought you were gonna say because the new 4090s came out.
No, I think I'm gonna skip this release. It looks good, but I'm gonna skip it. But Moore's Law is still in effect because with
Moore's Law?
Yeah, Moore's Law.
Lore.
Yes. But no, I was able to get a top tier system, and I still have a whole bunch of money squared away because the price of parts are a lot cheaper now since COVID. But for me, I've been I started Bayonetta 3. We'll probably get more into it later. It's Bayonetta, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I've started playing that too, but I didn't talk about it because I'm not far into it yet.
No, but what you see is basically the rest of the game. It really reminds me of like a cheesy Sega Genesis game, and like Bayonetta and Viola is like Sonic and Tails because they gotta find
like Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, it's like gotta find the Chaos Gears to stop the bad guys.
Yeah, I've heard that the other campaigns aren't as robust, or they're not at least as fun to play.
Yeah, they're not. Like, I just recently played them. John's is, like, okay because it's short.
Oh, no, hers is the worst.
But
it's like a terrible version of elevator action.
I know. But it's short, so it's, like, it doesn't matter too much to me. Like, it's meant to be side story, even though you have to play it. Viola's is basically just Bayonetta combat, but not as good.
I'm not. I want to see more Viola. I think she's actually a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
Her combat focuses more on
blocking than dodging. So.
It almost seems like Viola is being set up as a new, like, would have her own standalone game. I mean, who knows what they're gonna do.
I mean, I think in probably 10 years when they release the next one, possibly.
Yeah.
But no, it's Bayonetta. Like, so if you like Bayonetta, it's another Bayonetta game. I still think the first one's good, the best one out of the three. So I'll say 1, 2, 3 in this order. But I lost my train of thought. So Bayonetta 3. I've been watching Akiba May Wars. And Justin, have you watched that show yet?
I didn't because I saw the premise and I was like, this looks stupid.
it's stupid, but it's like Yakuza stupid. So think of basically the game Yakuza, or I think we're calling it now like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon, yeah.
Yes. Instead of having the actual Yakuza, they're replaced by maids.
I know, and it's like, if it was Cosmic Kiryu as a maid outfit, sure, but it's this 30-year-old woman who I don't know, and I'm like, okay, so it's just going to be one of these action camp stories.
Oh, I mean, it's just terrible junk food, but it's amusing. I think it's only like a 12 episode series, and they're like almost halfway done.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch it if it gets like really good reviews at the end. But until then, I just don't have any energy to watch that right now. I do know of it though.
Yeah, for me, I enjoy it. It's stupid. My wife Erin, she thinks it's stupid, but sometimes she needs some low IQ junk food. Mm-hmm. And I finished Vampire Survivor as per the release of it, because they're like always adding stuff to it. And honestly, it's kind of like my game of the year. For $3, like I play like over 100 hours of it, and I enjoy it. Like from the graphics, the homage to Castlevania, it's a super good game, especially for like $2 what I paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that game got so big with streamers because of the cheap price combined with how it's a fun roguelike.
Yeah, and it's like a good time waster. And the last thing on my end, I am going to Japan on Tuesday, so I'll be there for the release of the new Pokemon game. I'll be at the Pokemon Center at Skytree. Is it Skytree or Shibuya? I gotta look at it, which one I'm gonna be at. But I'll be in Japan for 3 weeks.
Oh hey,
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Nick, I'll pass it to you.
Well, I can't top that. I don't know. I've been just doing a lot of Genshin again. The 3.2 update came out, and somehow I've almost 100% collected all of the stuff on the map of the regular area and the desert area. But okay, it's drawing me back in. I was really not sure about it, but the story with Scaramouche, it's all finally coming together. It has a lot of references actually to Evangelion with what's happening. They're trying to recreate a god using their like tree of life and fruit of knowledge and somehow, but like it's a good take on it.
literally
Nahida,
everything references Evangelion.
it's been a lot. She's grown on me too. I wish it wasn't. I wish there was a good game that like had these sort of elements and these characters that you get to know that like just wasn't this game, because it's still a gacha game. I still don't like that, but somehow this banner, the recent one with the Dendro Archon, has
Like
pulled in
the characters in the story are
the
really
most-
compelling.
yeah.
I just wish it wasn't in this game.
Exactly. Like, what was I trying to think? Like, I really like games too that like have explanations for different like gameplay elements and stuff in them. So they were saying too, like, oh, there hadn't been any new Electrovision characters because the Electro God was like just not having it. She was not handing them out. But they didn't really do that with like the Dendro, because Dendro element was only added with patch 3.0, but they didn't really explain that, maybe because Nahida had been asleep until now or something, but they never really come out and explain it. But it's been good.
Is it out for Switch yet?
Unfortunately, no. We're gonna have to wait till the Switch Pro comes out. Like, I feel like the Switch could run it. It's
Maybe.
4 or 5 year old game. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it ran Breath of the Wild, and it's running Persona 5 now. So.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, yeah, just been doing Splatoon 3, getting close to finishing the story mode on that. I'm a couple weeks behind on
Oh wait, you haven't
getting that all
finished the story?
finished. Not yet. I know what the story is, though. I kind of spoiled myself when it first came out. I think it's pretty good. Like, with what they had to work with, I think it's a pretty good story. But I'm trying to get through it now so I can like update the things, get the stickers on my. Customizing your locker and getting those stickers and titles and stuff. That's no joke. It's like the main meta of the game.
Yeah.
But
You gotta rep that locker.
Exactly. And then we got the Splatfest then coming up next weekend.
Oh.
That's 1 week before Pokemon Scarlet and Violet comes out, and so it's like between the three elemental starters, then actually it represented in Splatoon. I think they had one back in Splatoon 1, I want to say, that was like Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, and then now they're bringing that Pokemon back for the three starters for Scarlet and Violet. So that's cool. I'm Team Quaxley, I think, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe they fix the tricolor battle, so we'll actually have the three-way fights. Like they really advertised during the release of the game, but like only 2% of players actually got in the first couple of Splatfests, I think.
Did you get it? Because I didn't.
I did not. No, I was really looking forward to it and trying that. Like that was one of the big why they got the 3 in the titles, maybe. And also with the Salmonid, the big run, Salmon Run, where the PvE zombies mode supposedly are going to be coming to like the normal battle stages too, but also that has not happened yet. So we don't know when these features that were like advertised with the release of the game will actually be able to be playable, or if we'll just keep getting disconnected every other.
I don't know. I think Nintendo will deliver on all the features they promised, except for the netcode. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about that. But have you played Salmon Run?
Yeah, I've been doing it a lot. I beat the Shozuna. I think I really like Splatoon 3's mode. The small tweaks and stuff they've added, I feel like really completes it. You can throw the eggs. You can have this boss, the Chozuna. Like I think I'm saying it right. It's like a Godzilla giant salmon at the end.
Oh, I think it was supposed to be like a sumo wrestler, like Yokozuna.
You know what? That actually made more sense. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Trying to win the game with like randoms online.
It's rough sometimes.
Yeah, she's found some of her coworkers actually all play it together in Discord, and they do pretty good. But playing it just by yourself is not the most reliable.
Yeah. Nick, let me know when you want to play, because I need.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like we can have more and like in the games chat too. I know, like I see Sage playing Genshin and stuff even too every now and then. He joins my teapot and like scares me. I was like, who's this character? I thought it was all alone. Oh no, it's Sage. But like yeah, we should do more games just on the weekends or whenever. And yeah, definitely.
That sounds good.
Let me know when you guys play. I need to validate paying $60 for that game. I don't want another repeat of Splatoon 1 where it just sits there and I never play it.
Oh yeah.
And on the Wii U too. Oh. But other than that, yeah, just actually going back through Fate Stay Night again, Unlimited Blade Works with Maria because she hadn't seen it.
The TV series or the movie?
It's a little hard to keep track. It is the anime series.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. That one's
whatever
good.
it is on Hulu. Yeah.
That
and she's like
Yeah.
recognizing all the memes and stuff that she knows somehow, but like hasn't actually seen the show, so it's pretty good.
I mean, lots of people do that with like I know a lot of. I still haven't watched all of Breaking Bad, but I know every single meme.
Right? Yeah.
But, cool. Let's get into the video game news, y'all.
All right.
So we'll start with something we missed out on last time, was the Overwatch 2 release and controversy. One of the main things is like the requirement to register your phone number was the biggest gripe most people had, because there's a good majority of players who had no phones, or they had pay phones just when they needed them, and that doesn't count as an actual phone number and phone plan, so they couldn't register to the game. So that was like, I want to say like the first week and a half, 2 weeks of launch, and then they quickly amended that. Activision Blizzard quickly amended that and changed it to, if you played Overwatch 1 and you're already registered, then you can get into Overwatch 2. But still, even then, you have to, if you've never played Overwatch 1, you still have to register a phone number. So sorry if you don't have a phone plan, I guess.
Corey, where's my skins?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. You're gonna have to buy them back.
You can't buy them back. There's no loot boxes.
Oh, that's true.
You could just go play Overwatch 1 again, right? With all your characters and unlocks and everything, right?
That's another thing. If you didn't know, they took down the Overwatch 1 servers, so you have to play 2. Right. You have no choice but to buy 2 if you want to play Overwatch.
You don't even buy it. They just shove it to you now. Isn't it free to play?
I thought you had to pay like $40 to buy it. Oh, I thought you had to like buy a physical, or not a physical copy, but you know, you had to buy the game. I don't know.
I mean, I
Has
didn't
anybody
buy.
actually bought it?
Like, I had Overwatch 1, and they're like, oh, Overwatch 2's here. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I don't want it. And they're like, here you go, we deleted everything.
Oh no, it's free to, like, quote unquote free to play. Okay, so I take that back. You don't have to buy it. But
Yeah. But I
when
want
I
back
say
my
quote
script.
unquote free to play, I've heard from people playing it that if you try to be free to play, it takes like months to get a single like enough currency to get a single skin, unless you buy the battle pass.
But even the battle
Like,
pass, if you grind it out, it's almost 8 months. Like, you can
crazy.
literally give birth to a child before you can actually complete the battle
Last
pass.
time I remember a game being that hard to get stuff was, I want to say Battlefront 2, the EA one.
Oh, you had to play like 100 hours to get
remember
Darth
how
Vader or
bad that
something.
was with like getting stuff? Yeah.
I want to say it reminds me of League of Legends too. Like it's free to play. Oh yeah, but you can't
I feel like
really
League-
play until
at
you
least-
get to level
At
40.
least now, I feel like League has a decent way to get skins, but they still have a lot of skins locked behind the
Oh, yeah, and a lot of limited
crystals
time
that you can
things,
only
yeah.
get with money. So I don't like that system personally.
Like, I would be fine with that. Like, I spent maybe under $500 worth of loot boxes on Overwatch 1 between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation because everybody had to play different systems. And if I had a chance to re-buy the loot boxes, I probably would rather do that than the battle pass on how much time you have to spend.
Right.
This podcast is really just a Gotcha Players Anonymous forum where we console each other with the money we've spent on Gotcha games.
I don't even want to talk about the Genshin money I spent. I think that's like my biggest gripe for not going back. But whatever, it's behind
Yeah,
us.
we don't need to go into
So also there was a big controversy with Bayonetta. The original voice actress, I don't know if anybody remembers her name.
Helena, I remember it's
Helena
Helena.
Taylor.
I know the new one. Is it Helena Taylor?
I think that was the
I
original
think it's,
one.
I think it's
yeah.
Helena Taylor.
Yeah. Obviously, we know Jennifer Hale because she's like one
And
of the
then
biggest voice
and then
actresses.
and then it went to Jennifer Hale who took the role. But it turned out, I think that so what Helena Taylor said is that she was only getting $4,000 initially. Initially, she thought that she was getting $4,000 for the whole gig of voicing Bayonetta 3, which turned out to not be true. And then she later amended that statement once people, you know, dug a little bit, and journalists like mainly Jason Schreier, I saw it out of, but said that that wasn't the case, and it was actually, I think, 4,000 per session.
Yeah.
And there was going to be like 4 to 5 sessions roughly, I think.
It was just
So-
been around not 4,000, almost $50,000.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, you know, most of my salary.
But here's the dangest thing. Justin, you started Bayonetta. Are you more than like 15 minutes in?
Yes, I am more than 15 minutes in.
Perfect. All the lines that she would have said, I'm not going to spoil the game, is right there. Like, she would have made bank because of the whole
Yeah, they don't
multiverse.
talk that much, right?
No, it's the original Bayonetta. Like, it's not really spoilers because it happens in the first couple of minutes.
It's the premise of the game.
Yeah,
basically.
original Bayonetta dies, and then there's like multiverses of different Bayonettas.
Yeah.
And her whole lines would have just been in like the first 5 minutes
Yeah.
for a $50,000 payout.
And she almost bamboozled us too. We almost we're about to schedule a podcast recording. We're like, this is not fair. This is representative of the voice actors in the
I mean,
industry
that's still
not
true
getting
to an
paid enough.
extent. I mean, remember what
And
happened to the
yes.
Mob Psycho English dub
Oh,
voice
yeah.
actor?
It's still really, really shitty.
Yeah.
But
So, it's just,
Like,
it's
that's
a
not the way to-
situation. It's just that
Yeah.
Helena was not a very good representation of the problem. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what sucks is it's going to set voice actors who do mean well back.
Yeah.
So it is bullshit.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Hale took it, and
She's good.
she was
She's
really
yeah.
yeah. I mean, she was very forthcoming with like that she didn't want to have really anything to do with it, and tried, and you know, trolls still gave her shit anyways. But hopefully, hopefully like she did a good job with the role. I haven't played it. But I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there's no problem. She's good.
I mean, Jennifer Hale is usually good. I don't know many roles where she sounded bad or
Right.
had bad voice direction.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, Hideki Kamiya got banned over this whole controversy, which is another. At least probably the only thing good to come out of this whole.
But
thing.
he came
I
back.
think he's back. Yeah, he's back on Twitter again, and it seems like that whole experience did not humble him one bit.
No, so here's my thing. They
This
need
guy.
to take away his phone. Because he made basically Platinum look like the ultimate villain in the game industry.
How's he gonna log
He's
into
got
Overwatch?
this like swagger, like Platinum's like the best video game developer out there, and they're like, honestly, in my opinion, they're mid at best. But
I mean,
he's got
especially-
this
especially
like
lately.
impression. I mean, not even lately. I always feel like their games are pretty hit or miss since
I mean, yes, but
for a while.
they always specialize like action spectacle over like making
I
sense.
don't know. I always feel like even action, there's better action studios to pick from.
Like that's what they're known for,
It's
but
just they happen
yeah.
to get good contracts, like with Nintendo
Yeah.
or with Capcom. But
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of, I think, xenophobic as well towards anyone that's like
Oh,
not
yeah.
speaking
Oh, yeah,
Japanese
definitely.
it's
on
like
his Twitter.
you speak Japanese,
And
my
it's like-
friend.
Yeah, people are just like, oh, that's just him. He's just quirky. But it's like, really, that's not like that funny. And I feel like really he should,
It's kind of endearing.
you know.
And the thing is, he's
Like,
been doing this for
maybe-
so long. Like he's done that for so
Yeah.
long. That's kind of hard to go like, why is this a problem
Oh,
now?
yeah,
He's
for
done it for
years.
years.
Yeah.
I
But-
think it was like a Patreon reward for some other previous game I remember seeing. Like,
I think
oh, if you
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
donate $100, he'll personally block you on Twitter. Like I get it. It's his thing.
Yeah, but like at the same
you
time,
could have a different thing.
Inaba needs to literally super kick him off of like the Shibuya like 109 building. Because that time he is poison. What work is he doing? Because it seems like he's always on Twitter, like trolling people.
Oh man, that reminds me
No
of someone
idea.
else who we're gonna maybe talk
It
about.
must have been a lead on Babylon's fall.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
Oh no.
what are you about to say,
which-
Nick? I think you actually had
Well-
a good segue.
I'm jumping a little bit ahead into the thing. I'm going to talk about other things going on with Twitter and personalities that think that they know that they're the smartest person in the room,
Well,
and they're really, I
Who
don't
could
know
that
if they
be?
really are.
Obvious. Mark Zuckerberg, right?
The Lizard Man himself.
I was thinking it would maybe make more sense to chat about that after talking about the other
speaking
upcoming
about
games.
Mark Zuckerberg, the MetaQuest Pro got announced, which I don't know who this is for.
It's supposed to be for
Um,
business, apparently.
They finally have
Yeah,
legs
so
now.
I did some research on it. It really looks like it's just mainly oriented towards the metaverse, promoting the metaverse, but it's just I don't understand the marketing ploy to this because the metaverse hasn't even taken off yet with the Quest 2, which is a very low price point until they bumped it up to like 100, but bumped it up to like $399, I think, for like the 64 gigabyte model, which is bullshit. Somebody might have to fact check me on that one.
I think
but
it's like $399 because I got Aaron one.
for the 250 or the 60. I don't remember. There's two.
I know. I got her the biggest size and it was like $399.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It used to be a better price tag at like $299, but then they bumped it up. But like even then, people aren't, to my knowledge, really using the metaverse to the extent that they want them to, that Facebook wants them to. So they rationalized that they released an even more expensive headset at a price tag of $1,500, the MetaQuest Pro, to continue to push the metaverse and innovate on the metaverse. There's still a push for games on the MetaQuest Pro. They bought a lot of big VR studios. One of the notable ones, I don't remember the name, but they created Iron Man VR, which was a big VR game. I want to say they bought the Beat Saber studio. I don't remember, but they bought a lot of VR studios with this during this Facebook announcement. They announced that, and they also announced that it would be compatible with Game Pass. So they are partnering with Microsoft for these new innovations. Whether or not the Game Pass functionality would be backwards compatible to the Quest series, or to the Quest 1 and 2 series, I have no idea.
Yeah, there's
I feel like
nothing
Quest
released
2
on that yet.
I feel like the Quest 2 has the hardware for Game Pass. It's not like, I mean, the hardware in the Quest 2 is still pretty good. So I don't know. And what's weird enough is if you link your Quest 2 to your PC, you can already do this. You can do desktop mode, and you can basically emulate playing your Game Pass games in VR. I can't imagine there's any functionality they will be able to partner with Microsoft with the Quest VR to make that any different than it is now.
And you can probably open up an internet browser and go to Facebook too with it. Like, I don't know. I don't get really the integration and the metaverse and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, recently there's been... Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess my take on the metaverse, it's kind of dumb. It reminds me of like a poor man's version of like PlayStation Home, when that was
Or
a thing.
VR chat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got... I still want to be in the party that thinks it has potential, but they haven't shown me anything as a consumer, like why I need it. Like, or even in the office, really.
And I want to say, like, that's what the angle that they're going for is, like, bigwig CEOs that they'll know will buy 1,000 of these for their whole company to have virtual board meetings, even though this could have been an email.
Yeah,
Like,
you're trying to market virtual advertising and virtual real estate to people
Oh,
that
God,
see
yeah,
no real
that's
reason for it.
awful.
Yeah, the whole like implementation on it is really rough, to say the least. But I know people in my team, they're starting to kind of build out their rigs for kind of metaverse to have like those 3D meetings, and I don't like the models. I'm like, well,
They're really like cringy IMVU models.
yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just get a VTuber rig and just put it in for my next meeting.
There you
Nice.
go.
Shove his gargoyles.
But I
Sort of around the same... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess what's the problem is actually trying to solve, because usually you make a device or you come up with an idea to solve a problem, but what's the problem they're trying to solve? It feels like they're just kind of making a problem.
I guess just really giving you the real life experience remotely. Like, oh yes, I would like to be advertised to and solicited from my own home in 360-degree immersion.
So the specific thing that bothers me about this recently too is if you're looking at screens, what I was reading about in a VR headset, like the pixel density, like there's something with the pixel density. You have to have like very large screens. So if you see someone like sitting at a desk and like trying to type in Meta in the metaverse, like it's always like super big because they can't fit enough pixels. Maybe they'll fix this eventually, but like I don't know. With my job, I have to be like very specific, very detailed dimensioning drawings and stuff like that. And if I have to have like a giant screen to like blow up everything because the resolution is so small, like there's no point. Like that's I don't know for other companies meetings if it's just
Now
a
that you bring
graph.
that up, I think there's some functionality to like visualizing things that are
Like in a
easier-
3D
that might be
space,
easier
I
done. Like say
suppose.
you have a PowerPoint presentation or you need to
Mhm.
actually illustrate something on like a dry erase board, or you need like actual like it's harder to do that. Well, I mean, you could still do it in like Visio or something, you know.
Yeah, and I
But-
get maybe like for
but
architects
that may be
or stuff like that
streamlined
where
a
you're
bit in
where you're
Metaverse,
like
but-
walking around a building, but
Yeah,
sales meetings.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's something to think about on a VR headset that's actually oriented towards gamers. The PSVR 2s was announced, and that is not backwards compatible, and it has a $550 price tag. So I think that's about the same price that PSVR 1 was at. Maybe a little bit more, but not by much. So what really kind of sucks for me is just I wish it was compatible with PSVR 1 games. I feel like they're missing a good catalog there, but so I'll probably pass on this one until I at least see they have a good catalog for me to warrant the buy, but yeah. So
I mean,
there's options.
Yeah, we'll see what happens because there were good games on PSVR, so we'll see if they do the re-release. But I get the idea of not trying to make it backwards compatible because it's two different like OSs in the background.
I don't know. I don't buy it.
So.
And
also remember, PSVR was kind of jerry-rigged with using the old PS Move controllers from PS3 and the camera.
True. It was garbage.
So
yeah, those were garbage controllers. Also, in other news, there's actual Silent Hill news from Konami. So we got some more footage for Silent Hill 2 remake by Bloober Team. I thought that looked really good. I'm hoping Bloober Team does it justice. I don't know what you guys thought on that footage, but that looks solid.
I just don't care. Silent Hill has been revived. They tried to revive Silent Hill way too many times in the past. I just don't see it happening like successfully now.
But Justin,
I just see the one time, but yeah.
But
there's been multiple.
But it's for the release of the new movie.
Oh God!
So that's the only reason why Silent Hill it's getting a release. It's being tied with the movie that's coming out.
Well, I think the biggest announcement in that stream for me was the Silent Hill F news. So we really didn't see that much footage. We just kind of got like a PV of like the main character, I assume, and like what's gonna be. She was like had like this infection where like plants were growing all over, and but what stood out to me is that the story was by Ryukushi 7, which could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. I'm not sure. If you don't know Ryukushi 7, he's responsible for Higurashi. He's responsible for Umineko. And he's also responsible for making very bad closure to both series.
Yes.
One of the art, the person in charge of character art is one of the contributors to the Spirit Hunter series, which also has like a lot of plant-based infections in it. So maybe that's where they draw inspiration from for this game a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know.
So,
it looks good.
If you played Spirit Hunter with us in our VN sessions, you might notice some similarities. But yeah, so it seems like they have a solid team at face value. So we'll see how it turns out once there's some actual gameplay footage. But that's probably the most promising looking one at the moment for me. As somebody who never really got into Silent Hill as a wee lad, but yeah. Final Fantasy 16, Square Enix kind of threw out that it's basically finished. They have some finishing tweaks to it, and we could probably expect it Q1 of next year.
Yeah.
So
I thought they
look forward to that.
Did they say that it was going to be released in like June or something? No.
Official release date.
Yeah, it's mid 2023. They didn't actually say it. Okay.
I think they're gonna make it to Q1, but there could be some additional like polishing they want to do.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure if they announce it for Q1. It's
summer.
So as far as like fiscal calendar, a lot of Japanese companies tend to front load their releases in Q1 just because of numbers and stockholders. So
I usually see the bigger titles come in the summer, for obvious reasons that people are more available to play them. So it could be it's done, but they just delay it to Q2 to kind of boost sales. But
I thought it was Q1.
Or
it sounds
Q2, I mean.
like Japanese
Is it Q2
like,
or
summer
Q1?
vacation. It's like not the same as ours, like for school.
I suspect it's Q1.
3,
I don't believe there's been an announcement.
Yeah, because Q1 will be around April time frame.
Yeah. But we'll see. So some upcoming games to look out for. There's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out November 18th. We may have live footage on the release date. We'll see.
Yep.
Actually, next week we have Sonic Frontiers.
For like 2 days.
On Tuesday, on November 8th. So if this episode's out by then, you've been notified. God of War Ragnarok on Wednesday, November 9th. Final Fantasy Crisis Core Remake on December 13th, and the Callisto Protocol on December 2nd, which if you played Devil May Cry, Dead Space.
Dead Space. Yeah.
Played Dead Space, then it's a spiritual successor to that. Most of the original team from who did that? Vertical? I don't remember. No. I don't remember the name. The studio that they used to be a part of, but I just know EA shut them down.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is their new studio. They're trying to make a spiritual successor to Dead Space, so check it out. It looks pretty cool. Spoopy. Awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much all for our video game news. Justin, you want to get into some anime?
Yeah, I do. So in some smaller news, because I don't know any people who actually really read the site regularly, Anime News Network got bought by Kadokawa, because Kadokawa buys everything, don't they? Like, seriously, like every semi-major thing I can think of, Kadokawa owns at this point. Like, they own Bookwalker, they own that Trash Taste podcast, they own they own, what else do they own? I know there's some others. Like, they own quite a few anime
Kadokawa Studios.
Yeah, and now they bought ANN. I have no idea what ANN benefits from this, or what changes are going to be made. It doesn't. People have been like raising comments at how this is going to change ANN's content so they're more biased towards Kadokawa, and I'm like, I don't think so, because ANN has never really been. ANN has either just reported the news neutrally, and when it came to their reviews and such, they were never great. They were never really all that great, and their forums are just plain ass. So it's like, whatever. I don't give a shit. But yeah, so yeah, another one to the Kadokawa monopoly. Thank you, Kadokawa. I'm sure you're enjoying your big properties. I mean, even though I don't think ANN makes that much.
I mean,
but anyway,
it's one of those you just controls the news sites.
I know, it's just like, isn't anime trending bigger now? Like,
anime makes money.
Yeah. Not the news sites though. Like usually it's like, and honestly, not even YouTube these days. Like unless you do shonen, because they only care about shonen.
But it's usually like ad revenue is the whole key, and where they could use it as a platform, almost like a site with a blue bird that we'll get into later.
Yeah. Okay, so now next one is another bit of minor news. It's more manga news, but it is kind of anime because of how big he's become as a big name, especially among like, I don't know, Apex and VTubers. Aka Akasaka, the writer of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, and Oshi no Ko, and some other future projects that I'm sure will pay off later, is retiring from drawing to focus exclusively on writing, which I consider a good thing, because, let's be honest, Kaguya-sama, the manga's drawings weren't really that great. Like, really, like, it really wasn't that great. You could easily have given it to like a more talented artist, and you could have just focused on the writing, and that would have been fine. So I honestly have no problem with him retiring from drawing. So, but I am interested to see what he writes, because he's like trying to write more manga now, and it's like, since he's already, now that he's dropped. Now that Kaguya-sama has ended, which is its own news entirely, the manga, and he's still working on Oshi no Ko, but now he wants to make more manga, so he's like, write multiple manga at the same time, because the man's a machine. No wonder he needs an artist to draw for him. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what's next. And third thing that I want to talk about, Disney Plus exclusives are pissing people off. This isn't really like big news, but it's more like this is news you if you didn't know about, you probably should. Because let me ask you one thing. How many of you guys know, do you guys know about Black Rock Shooter Downfall, the sequel to Black Rock Shooter?
There's a sequel?
I know of it, but I mean, the original Black Rock Shooter wasn't that good either.
Yeah, it
so
wasn't.
I had no reason
But-
to watch it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How many of you guys know that the sequel is now airing on Hulu?
It's airing on Hulu?
Didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
shadow dropped it. They just dropped it on Hulu, and it's weekly for the record. They didn't even release the whole thing. They're just airing it weekly on Hulu with no announcement. And oh yeah, then there's Bleach. You guys seen the controversy that got drowned out by all the Bleach fans that Bleach is not airing in any of the non-English speaking countries on Hulu or Disney Plus?
No, sound like people need to grab VPN.
Exactly. Yeah, man. People were so mad, but you could not. But their voices were not heard because the huge Bleach fandom drowned them out. They drowned out the fact that nobody in Germany can watch Bleach legally. You can only watch Bleach legally in U.S., Canada, South Africa, the UK, Ireland, I think.
Yeah, it's
And-
connected to the UK, but keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically any country that speaks English.
Jamar.
If you live in France or Latin America, you cannot watch Bleach on Disney Plus, even though they have Spanish subtitles.
I think I'm fine with the French not getting Bleach.
Yes. And of course, there's some controversies around that. And of course, there's the big one, the big Shonen Jump anime that got screwed its popularity by Disney Plus, Summertime Rendering. That people are still wanting that anime to get released legally, and it has not been happening. So they're mad that its popularity was ruined. Even though I think its popularity was kind of ruined by the fact that it was airing at the same time as Spy Family and Kaguya-sama. So it's like, whatever. I don't think it would have been that much more popular if it had aired illegally, personally. But yeah, people who watch Summertime Running really enjoy it, so they're a little upset that Disney Plus will not release the anime, and Disney Plus is just not promoting their anime, or like they at all. That like Bleach got no promotion. That like the only reason Bleach is so big right now is because of its diehard fan base. Like its fan base is so big and so massive now that it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter that Bleach doesn't get promoted.
Yeah, I think
They
Bleach
will-
doesn't even need promotion. It was part of what would have been the Shonen Jump Big Three.
Big three.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, once the announcement of, oh, Bleach is coming back, that's all they needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's and it's surprising because no other anime can really get away with that. Of course, I know that Bleach is promoted heavily in Japan where it matters, but you know, it's like Disney Plus, they're just gonna keep doing this. Like they're like, it's basically a worse version of Netflix, because Netflix at least has release dates, and and they try to promote their stuff on their Twitter, even though it doesn't always work. But like Disney Plus, it's just like, yeah, we're here. We're just gonna drop things on Hulu and not tell you that they're on Hulu. And yeah, it's a shame. I'm honestly wondering what. And this is not for just anime. This is Korean dramas and Chinese dramas and all that as well. They shall drop quite a few Korean dramas on Hulu recently. Yeah, good thing Hulu Disney owns Hulu, because otherwise I'd have to go on Disney Plus to watch some of that stuff.
Oh, Justin, you just reminded me about Shadow Drop. The World Ends With You Neo has been released on PC, so
Yeah,
Steam
on Steam.
and Epic Store. Thank you.
Well, Epic, it's always been on Epic Store. Yeah,
All right.
it was on Epic Store at the same time as
Switch.
the console releases. It just wasn't on Steam.
Yeah, so it's on Steam. Thank you, Squaresoft,
For not promoting that game at all. I don't know why
They
don't
sent
bother
me an
to promote
email, like a advertising email, like, oh, guess what's coming out? Blah blah blah. The World Ends With You. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and didn't hear anything else.
that. Yeah, they didn't bother to promote that. And of course, the final thing I want to talk about is something that not many people have actually talked about yet, because you'd have to like really pay attention. And I was surprised no one leaked this, but yeah, the anime awards categories got leaked by Twitch streamer and former porn star Shibuya Kaho, because she did a stream she's a judge for the anime awards for like a few years now. I think ever since 2020. And she did on her Twitch stream, she basically showed the list of all the anime that was eligible and what all the categories were. And nobody noticed. Like none of the 400 and something people who watched that stream live leaked it or anything.
They were busy looking at other things.
That's because people don't care what the categories are.
That is true.
That is true. That is
Like,
technically true. That all they care about
is that a hype move? It's like, whoa, the categories.
I know. They only care about anime of the year. So quick little heads up from me. They dropped quite a few categories and have added a few. Like best antagonist has been dropped. Best boy and best girl has been dropped. Best voice actor that's not Japanese has been dropped because in another bit of news, Crunchyroll. I mean, this has been news already, but we already knew Crunchyroll is going to move the anime awards to Japan for the first time to like be more prestigious. And with that note, they don't want to like fly any English voice actors or any other foreign voice actors to Japan. So they dropped every voice acting category except for the Japanese one.
I mean, the price for the flight to fly them out there is more what they get paid. So
yeah,
I see why.
pretty much.
The discrimination continues against the voice acting community.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So that means well, actually, I don't know if ProZD actually voiced any anime this year, because he usually sticks to video games. I know Amelie voices a few anime though, but yeah. And so they added, like, they dropped those categories. They added a best original and a best continuing series category, although there's still an anime of the year category where all those anime can be in. And they added a best must protect category, like a must protect category. Like, you're still doing meme awards like that. And are you sure that anyone who's not named Anya is going to win that?
The best Anya award.
Yeah, it is basically made for her.
Yeah, I know.
Dang.
It's like, well, too bad best girl isn't a category. Now we'll never know who the true winner is between Marin from Dress Up Darling and Yor from Spy Family. Nah, it's now best protagonist and best supporting character, which I'm fine with. I wasn't a big fan of the meme. One thing that was strange though, they have a best soundtrack and a best musical score category. I'm like, what? Why? How many anime have actual music in it? Like actual musical scores in it? Like, I know the One Piece film Red movie, which by the way we watched recently. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, you know why they probably have it? Is one's gonna be for actual TV show anime, the other one's gonna be for theatrical release.
Maybe. They still have a best film category, which Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is obviously going to win, because, of course, there's no way anything else is going to win. That's the only movie people watch. And oh yeah, one last thing I'm going to leak about the Anime Awards in case you guys care about that, because we all know that it's pretty much going to get swept by, Spy Family, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan. Remember the last award show where Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen won everything? Yeah. Now it's just going to be the same thing, except replace Jujutsu Kaisen with Spy Family. One last thing I should leak to you guys. The cutoff date for the awards is November of last year to September of this year. You know what that means?
What does it mean?
No Bleach.
Exactly. Bleach, Chainsaw Man. Let's see, what else is there? Blue Lock, Gundam Mercury. They're not eligible for the awards this year.
That's not to say that they won't try to push them.
Yeah. You can't nominate Chainsaw Man for anything. Like Kaho was forbidden from nominating any of them. So basically, the only big shonen is going to be Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, and Spy Family. And
Sounds like a very boring awards.
with the best and I can just tell you, like I said, the cutoff date is basically anything that aired after Cyberpunk Edge Runners is not eligible. And technically, Legend of the Galactic Heroes aired at the new season started airing at the end of September, so it is eligible. But no one's gonna nominate that because no one watches Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Unless you're like 45 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Yeah.
speaking of people in power making questionable decisions, driving away their user base,
What is this transition?
some crazy stuff has been going on at Twitter.
I mean,
That's
Twitter's
not
basically anime at this
really.
point.
It almost feels like it. The new arc of it. Elon laid off like half of the staff, but then the latest is that he's actually trying to get them back. He's trying to hire them back because he actually
Nick.
doesn't know what he's doing.
That's
was
like
the last
the
I heard.
boys season. That's like one of the boys seasons where like they fire like the whole like crime department that like finds where
More or
that
less.
geolocates where the criminals are, and then they're like, why can't we find them? It's like, I'm the only one working here. We don't have enough people.
It's such a mess, and like people on both extremes of politics both think that it's gonna benefit them, but really it's like not, and it's probably not even gonna benefit Elon at the end because they're losing money. I mean, a lot of things have like come to light. Then too, with him kind of getting control of the wheel in some senses, especially in regards to like the verified accounts. It turns out, yeah, some celebrities or some other people had been paying like $15,000 to get that blue little check mark. And of course, the big policy or whatever shift to be, well, now you can just actually buy it for just $8 a month as like a subscription. But that's also like gonna cost a whole bunch. I mean, no one really knows. Like, it's internet crazy trolls and everything. No one really knows. But like, he's been banning like parody accounts or like there's all kinds of every day there's some new shenanigans with what's going on there, and the website is running on like a hamster wheel, and they stopped feeding the hamster, so
Damn.
who knows. But like,
I guess.
where it's gonna go. What are your thoughts, Shamar?
Oh god, so much. But I guess if you live under a rock, Elon brought Twitter. It really started to show how well of a businessman he is or not. Because he's just literally driving this thing into the ground. And I get, alright, you want to bring in your own people and shake up things. But you fire everybody that was in power without replacing them, let alone actually know how the ship was running. And like the mass layoffs, workers are being forced to work over 60 hours a week because he wants to get all these new features out. And it's like, that's not how you run a business correctly at all. So I think Twitter might end up going the way of like Vine and stuff. When like a big corporation buys them and it drives it to the ground.
I
It
will
reminds
not
me a
miss
lot
it.
of like
personally.
Facebook, what we were talking about too. Like Zuckerberg like has a vision, he has an idea with the Quest and everything, but like he didn't really ask like his users if that's what they wanted.
That's what he
I feel
wanted.
like.
And like,
Yeah. Like, is that really where they're gonna make money? Is this really, what Twitter's users wanted? And for some of them, sure, they wanted an easier way to have that verification process, I suppose. But now that anyone can become a verified account for just $8 a month, they were saying like too, it would get rid of a lot of bots and like fake,
why would it?
false information and stuff. But like, yeah, all you need to become, Obama on Twitter is just $8 a month.
Yeah. Oh, and boom, you have Obama bot.
Exactly. I don't really get it, but I get as well. It's difficult to like monetize such a large like public social media in general. But if he's trying to get rid of the ads to stop being beholden to the advertisers or something like that, then I guess you got to charge the users. But it's just
Yeah,
train wreck on
People
fire.
just go move to another platform, and they already have. Like, I closed my Twitter account. I barely used it. I think most of the time I'll look up, like, Wario64 or Hard Drive articles or
Yeah.
wherever somebody's, like, arguing with somebody else.
Nibel left Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
If you
Yeah,
if you
one of the
followed
big
him for
gaming
he's
news,
one of the
yeah.
few people I actually go on to Twitter to see his stuff and have news. But yeah, this sucks. If Wario64 leaves, yeah, I'll delete my account.
All right,
Yeah.
so my biggest gripe I have is, and you probably seen the news, Elon's bringing people over from Tesla to help look at the code and figure out stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
boy.
you don't do that because your shareholders on one side are freaking out because if you happen like your top people trying to kind of fix this mess you're working on your basically side project, you're taking away from innovation and projects that need to be done on the Tesla, because Teslas are not perfect. A couple of us own it. It has its own issues, but you don't like borrow from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
And I get the other side too, that like, yeah, Twitter probably had too many employees, like thousands and thousands to just run, you know, you don't need that many people like cooks in the kitchen. Like I get that to an extent, but firing so many people without warning and an adequate, you know, ahead of time and compensation and all that, it's really not how to
It's
do it. Like,
shady.
he thinks, yeah, he's the smartest person in the world almost because he landed a couple of rockets, you know, back from space. Like, okay, big deal. But like, it wasn't really him.
Yeah, it was his team. Like
His team, yeah.
he was the figurehead. Like,
Yeah, I feel like a good leader is one that like promotes the team and like this is our company that had the success, not like me. I did this and I'm the smartest person. But that's my rant over.
I don't know. I have one last piece of rant and I'll drop. Like, I had friends and coworkers that went over to Tesla and they hated it because it's such an oppressive work environment where if you're, it's similar to like Amazon. If you're not like bleeding to the bone finishing a project or meeting a milestone, you're seen as inadequate and you're always on like the chopping block, which is like your people shouldn't feel like if they talk back, if they think idea's not going to work, that they're going to be canned. So,
Yeah, it's not a good work environment. But anyway,
Yeah. All right. So one takeaway is to move off Twitter. As for since we're talking about kind of social media, how about we talk about Meetup?
Yes.
the way better social media.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
The
Should join,
the
yeah.
leading social media platform, I'm sure.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so we had some good events this past month or two. We had the anime discussion for, what was the last one? Occultic 9?
Yep.
Right? I didn't go to that one. Did anybody here go? Did you go?
No. Unfortunately, attendance for that one was pretty low.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I missed it too. I like that show, but I realized like that's not a show for everybody.
I
And
mean,
totally-
yeah,
totally
like
get
its
that,
score
but-
on anime ranking sites is pretty low.
Oh yeah, no, it's not like a good show.
Anything
but
with a
it's one
semicolon
that I
in
liked.
it, I don't like to.
It's by the same like Chaos Head
I know
and
it's
Steins
yeah,
Gate
people,
guys. I want
yeah.
to say
I mean,
like Steins
Yeah,
Gate
'cause
is good,
I
but the
feel
other
like-
ones I made.
I feel like I haven't seen them really get to the Steins Gate, recreate Steins Gate at this point. The behind.
Yeah, like they've
And
been
even-
trying to, but they just
Yeah, and even
no.
then, people would prefer to play the games than watch the anime. Although I know
Everybody
Occultic
wants
9
the
is based
anime.
off of light novels.
Because I don't want to play like eight like different storylines in the Steins Gate BN. Too much
Yeah.
work.
Fair enough. But
Just
it
give me
does
the
look
anime,
like
please.
for next month, or actually this month, it's actually Cyberpunk Edge Runners is the
Yeah,
discussion.
we've all pretty much seen
yes,
that. So go
and it's good.
or watch it.
Anime
and then go.
of the year, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was good. Also we had our reading discussion. Was it last Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Last
was.
Thursday, and we read Frankenfran, which was awesome. I really love that series. It's a lot of fun, kind of episodic manga series where Fran's like fucking up.
Or
Not
is
really
she?
fucking up operations, but she twists people's wish for the operation.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's very interesting. There's a lot of unique body horror elements to it, and it's a lot of fun.
God.
Yeah.
One last thing with Frankenfran. I was sad because I used to own that series and I sold it years ago. And I went to, I'm like, oh, I'll rebuy it for Aaron. I'm like, I'll read it. It's out of print, over $100.
It's
Thank you, Seven
it's
Seas.
a Seven Seas.
Yeah.
It's a Seven Seas print, and even Yen Press, it's not gonna stay.
Yeah.
No.
That's a good rule for manga physical copies. We had the Damn Cosplay contest at it was our hosted contest in partnership with Asia Times Square, which went really well for our very first cosplay contest. Yeah, and we were hosting it in conjunction with their night market, and that was kind of like the big event for that Friday night. And we had about, I want to say 16 participants in the contest. And we had a pretty good turnout. So even though the weather was really bad that day, it kind of made the best of it and turned out pretty well. So yeah, that was fun. We also had the painting with a twist. I'm not sure, did anybody here go to that?
I went to that one. It was a lot of fun. It was a really big turnout at this place at the mall. So I thought it was like...
Is that Louisville Mall, Music City?
Yeah, I thought it was actually painting with a twist, like where you bring alcohol. And so like some people like brought, some beverages and stuff. It was like actually not that specific one, but it was still really fun. We each got a little custom like Halloween themed thing to paint and met some new friends. And it was really fun.
Cool. Some more upcoming events. We have the Let's Play Dodgeball. That's on November 13th. We have the November anime discussion, which, as we said, will be Cyberpunk Edge Runners. We have Anime Dallas, which is November 25th, and Anime Frontier, which is on December 2nd. And is Anime Frontier on December 2nd?
Yeah, it should be the first week of December.
I didn't realize it was coming so soon. No. Oh, I'm not ready. And then we have another reading discussion on December 10th.
Oh yeah.
So,
have we decided what we're gonna pick for that?
Not yet. Last I checked, we still need more people to pitch stuff. I put something up, but I don't want to have to do mine again. But if we don't get anything, we don't get anything. The theme is mystery. If you have any cool mystery manga to put up, because I thought, hey, Christmas. Surprise, mystery, boom.
I might suggest something if we don't have anything else.
But yeah, so come join us for all these cool events, and yeah, that's pretty much all we had for this episode. You guys have any closing things you want to talk about?
Well, for anyone listening to this podcast, feel free to comment on what are your favorite upcoming games? What are you enjoying any anime this season? And do you have any good plans for the Christmas period? Let us know.
Yeah, where'd you find us? Did you find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Because that's where we are also located at.
Exactly.
Oh, good to bring that up. Yes. I'm wondering if I should move back
to.
Oh,
I have one thing. I think we.
No, we're not posting on Tumblr.
Right.
Dang.
Well, that's where we all gonna go after Twitter. No, I'll get with you guys later on trying to figure out the world premiere on Pokemon Scarlet. So
yeah, there's
Stay
definitely
tuned
going to
for
be
that.
some trade evolutions. I know it.
Oh yeah,
One way or another, we will have a Pokemon episode.
Yes.
But all right, thanks for joining us, y'all.
Thank you.
See you next
Take
time.
care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.